Hey, how's it going, everybody? Charlie Wilson here, aka Sinister Charlie. Welcome back. Hi. It's Monday. Well, it'll be Tuesday when this comes out. But yeah, we got some more Fat Electrician, this time from the Fat Files, which somebody told me in my comments is his new channel. Yeah, it only has 12K subscribers. Go subscribe if you're into Fat Electrician and shit. Joe Biden wants to unleash grizzly bears on a rural community. Also, government cheese caves exist. I knew about the cheese caves, okay? Come on. No, I didn't. I don't know. Yeah, let's check it out. Fat Electrician. I guess Fat Files. I don't know what you call it. Anyway, go.
This is probably going to come off pretty political, but I promise you it's just me being anti-bear.
Quack.
Okay, I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't like bears. Anytime bears are involved, it's not
I'm all right with bears.
going to be a good time. Okay, the Chicago Bears, terrible football team. A bear market, that means the economy's doing bad. And then you have grizzly bears, which are absolutely terrifying. So when I wake up one day and this is in the headlines, obviously I'm going to get a little bit upset, okay? It reads like I'm living in the Hunger Games. Basically,
yeah, but I mean, those are headlines, so who knows what the real story is. I'm sure he'll tell us.
The Capitol is going to start systematically releasing grizzly bears near rural communities. I'm not about it. But like an adult, I realize that news headlines are pretty misleading, so I read the entire article, and it's pretty accurate. Basically, the federal government wants to release 7 grizzly bears every year for the next who knows how long into this area in Washington state, and they want to get that number up to 200 grizzly bears. Which brings us to the obvious question, why the fuck would you do that? And I have looked and looked.
Hey. Shush. Sorry, my dog's doing stuff. Son of a... Hey, knock it off.
For an answer to this, and as far as I can tell, the only reason they want to start reintroducing bears into this part of the country is because, fuck it, bears used to live there, and bears are cool, I guess, is what their strategy is. Which, first of all, no, they're not cool, okay? This isn't a fucking Disney movie. That's not Baloo talking about the bare necessities in the forest. That's a 700-pound meat missile covered in fur that can run 35 miles an hour that eats its prey ass first. Okay?
Hey, man. Maybe just you haven't met the right bear, you know? I don't know where it's going with that. Some bears are nice.
Okay, there's nothing cute about that. Do you understand the gravity of what I've just explained to you? Brock Lesnar weighed 265 pounds when he was the world heavyweight champion. This bear is equivalent to 3 Brock Lesnars running at you at 35 miles an hour. And to put that into perspective, Usain Bolt tops out at 27.5 miles an hour. Okay, the average American can't outrun heart disease. We're definitely not going to be outrunning fucking grizzly bears if it comes to that. And I can hear the comment section already. You know, actually, bears are more scared of you than you are of them. No, that's not true. That's some shit your dad told you when you were 7 years old on your first camping trip so that you would shut the fuck up and go to sleep so he could bang your mom in a tent. Okay, that's not reality. And then you get all the environmentalist people, but you know, the ones that live...
My dad was banging my mom. Woo.
way far away from this area because environmentalists never advocate for shit when it's actually in their own backyard and it affects them. But they're going to say some shit like, oh, you know, the... humans eradicated those kind, gentle creatures, and they used to live in that area, so we should really bring them back. No, okay, we used to have dinosaurs too, and there's an entire movie series about why bringing those back is a terrible idea, okay? Maybe we got rid of it for a reason. Have you ever thought of that? Because last I checked, the easiest way to get a city named after you on the West Coast is to get killed by a grizzly bear, and then they just name a city after you. And then we have to address the elephant in the room, because whether you're left, right, or center on the political spectrum, you have to admit that there is an extra layer of comedy in the fact that Joe Biden, of all presidents, wants to start releasing grizzly bears. Okay, look, I'm not a political analyst or like...
I'm not either. I'd rather stay out of politics in general. If you want my opinions in politics, you can go to my Twitter. That's what Twitter's for. Not here, though.
Somebody whose opinion you should take very seriously, but I do think it's kind of bad taste to, on one hand, be like, I want to ban powerful guns because I don't think people need them. Also, I'd like to start releasing grizzly bears indiscriminately. Okay, look, I don't ever want to get asked why I need a high-capacity magazine ever again. There's never been a better excuse to have access to a lot of bullets than the federal government colluding with grizzly bears. I mean, this has to be a joke, right? Like, somebody at the White House is just being petty, like, these goddamn gun nuts want the right to bear arms. We're gonna give them the whole fucking bear. Okay, look, regardless of whoever's in office, whether it's a Democrat or a Republican, all I'm saying...
By the way, either way on the gun rights thing, You're going to get screwed either way. I mean, Trump banned a lot of stuff, like bump stocks and a bunch of other stuff. That was Trump who did that. That wasn't Biden. Not defending Biden on any of his stuff. I just don't really want to get involved. But this is why I don't want to get involved in politics, because I hate all of them.
Is that the federal government can't do anything without fucking it up. Okay, this is a terrible idea. You know what? Let me give you an example off the top of my head. In 1920, the United States government banned alcohol, okay? And overnight, every bar in the country either had to shut down or get turned into an ice cream parlor. So a bunch of them did. And then you have all these people that would hang out with their buddies at the bar, and now they're hanging out at the ice cream parlor. So in many ways, ice cream filled the social gap left behind by alcohol. Got that? Okay, wonderful. By 1924, people didn't quit drinking alcohol as much as the U.S. government would like, so they decided that they were just going to start poisoning alcohol and giving it out to Americans. 41 of them died for sure. Some estimates go up to as many as 10,000 being poisoned. Okay, fast forward 1933, prohibition gets phased out, but you have an entire generation of children that grew up eating ice cream every day because it was the social bond that held America together, because it had replaced alcohol. So the United States government needed to have a bunch of milk because they were going off for World War II and all their soldiers loved eating ice cream and frozen dairy treats. This is why to this day every Navy ship has an ice cream machine on it, and it's like...
Well, I've never been on a ship. I was in the Navy for 6 years, but I never went on a ship. Okay. I believe you.
Mandated by naval code or whatever. And because the U.S. government needed all this ice cream to feed their army, they needed a bunch of milk to make that ice cream with. And dairy farmers weren't even a thing yet, because refrigeration had just come out and it had never been feasible for one man to just harvest a bunch of milk from a ton of cows. It had never been done before in human history. And at first, it works out great. Okay, fast forward, World War II ends, the Allies win, the world is saved from the Nazis and the Imperial Japanese. Hooray. Now, the army went back home, they can buy their own ice cream, and these dairy farmers don't have anybody to sell all this milk to, and the government's not about to let the dairy industry just collapse, because they're the ones that convinced all these people that they had to become dairy farmers.
His cheese video. He did a cheese video.
In the first place, so the government is like, fuck it, I'll buy all the milk. And then the government's like, what do we do with all this milk? And somebody says, hey, let's turn it into cheese. That way it can sit on a shelf for a little while without going bad. Sure. Then all this cheese started stacking up, and they're like, fuck it, we're just gonna go hide it in a mountain in Springfield, Missouri. So that's what they did. They just kept shoving cheese into these caves every year, and every new president that came in, they're like, he has to sit through the briefing where they're like, yo, guess what? The U.S. government is buying all this milk, turning it into cheese. There's a mountain of cheese in Springfield, Missouri. In real life, it's a thing, and we can't stop buying the cheese. We don't know what to do with it. Then Ronald Reagan gets elected, and he's like, we're spending $1 million a day in refrigeration for a bunch of cheese that nobody's eating. We have to get rid of it. So he proposes to the U.S. people, hey, hear me out. I've got 500 million pounds of cheese. I want to throw it in the ocean. Okay, they get mad and they're like, no, we paid for the cheese. We would like the cheese at a minimum. You've taken our money, you've turned it into cheese. Give us the fucking cheese, okay? It's a relatable human emotion. So the government cut up all the cheese into 5-pound blocks and started handing it out to people, and this is where government cheese comes from. Okay, so that goes on for a while. Fast forward, Bill Clinton ends up getting elected, and he's like, I have an idea.
I can never do a good Bill Clinton impression, so I won't.
About how to solve this milk cheese cave situation conundrum. I'm going to go to the FDA. I'm going to have them form an offshoot nonprofit company known as DMI, Dairy Management Incorporated, except this isn't going to be a nonprofit where like they take charitable donations. No, we're going to make it a legal requirement for every dairy farmer in America to give these people a portion of their money so that they can advertise for them, because apparently milk and cheese isn't good enough on its own. Okay, if you're not picking up what I'm putting down, I'm trying to tell you that the Got Milk ad campaign that was in every school cafeteria for like 3 decades is a government-funded psychological operation to convince people to drink more fucking milk, because the U.S. government fucked up buying ice cream in the 1940s. And now they want me to not own guns while simultaneously trusting their ability to systematically release fucking grizzly bears.
That is without a doubt the dumbest thing.
It's not a great idea.
Okay, I'm done. I need to...
Yeah, but I mean, that's Oregon. If you choose to live in Oregon and you're mad at the gun laws, do what I do and move to Arizona. Gun laws are very lax here. I like it that way. It's just me, but...
Beer, I gotta go. Thanks for watching. Best way to support the channel is go buy some merch
at
Electrician.com.
That looked like a nice
Quack
zip-up.
bang, out.
We found about cheese again.
I'm probably never going to upload this video, but we'll see what happens.
I don't know. I think cheese in a mountain. Cheese in a mountain. Cheese in a mountain. I have to come up with some song at the end there. There you go. Yeah, the Fat Files. Go. I'll put the link in the description. Go subscribe. I always, it's more Fat Electrician, so it's good. Yeah, there you go. Good stuff. Bears. I live in Arizona. I really don't care. Don't live in the forest in Oregon if you don't like bears, I guess. I don't know. And don't live in Oregon if you like having guns. That's basically what I would say. Anyway, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Please like and subscribe down below. If you got any suggestions, put them in there. It doesn't have to be Fat Electrician or, anything like that. Anything you want. Free for all. Yeah. Thanks a lot. And bye.